Good afternoon, George. I hope I'm not bothering you at work right now. I wanted to ask you about something. My daughter told me that the two of you were thinking about moving. Is that correct? I understand you've been driving all around town looking for a new place.
Yeah, you heard it right. We're getting out of this old dump. Our apartment's lease is up in a couple months, so we figured it's either now or never. This place has served us pretty well for the time we've been here, but the place is starting to get kinda cluttered, right? We'd like to move into a place that's a bit bigger if possible.
Well, that sure is exciting for you, isn't it? And Jessica says you haven't found one yet?
No, we're still looking. We'd like to rent a house this time around, but that's gonna mean a big increase in rent, right? But it's not like either of our salaries are gonna increase just because we're moving, so we've got two choices. One, we rent a house that's the size we want, but might be a bit far away from our respective companies. Or two, we settle for a smaller place than we'd like, but that's closer to the city. We're having a really hard time making up our minds.
Well, that's precisely what I was hoping to talk to you about today. Now, let me ask you, George, are you too particular about the age of the house you move into?
Oh, is there one you had in mind?
Yes, indeed. It's a 50-year-old house. However, the entire interior was just renovated about 10 years ago, so the inside of the house is quite lovely. Does that seem like something you might be interested in?
Hey, if the interior is nice, that's really all that matters to me. I'll only look at the outside when I'm coming home from work. Plus, you know what they say, they don't make them like they used to. Older houses are typically a lot sturdier than the ones they make these days.
It sounds like this place will be perfect then. There's no one living in it right now, so it's available. It belonged to my husband's uncle before he passed away. That was about 3 years ago.
I see. So who owns the house now? Your husband's cousins?
No, it actually belongs to my husband.
Really? How did that happen?
Oh, it's quite simple. His uncle didn't have any children, and all his other cousins live far away. None of them wanted it, so they were gracious enough to let my husband inherit it.
Wow, that was kind of them.
What's more is the location is excellent, so my husband was considering selling it for the extra money. But if you kids would like to live there, then you're more than welcome.
You would do that for us? That is incredibly gracious of you, Mom. Are you sure you're fine with us living there?
Of course, it's better than letting it collect dust, right? I just wish we could provide you with something a bit newer.
Nah, don't worry about that at all. Like I said, I'm more concerned about the interior. So how big is the house?
It's 2 stories tall with a walkout basement. The basement is mostly unfinished, but there's a room down there that can be used as an office if you'd like. The master bedroom is on the 2nd floor, and there's a guest bedroom on the main floor. Also, there's a full bath next to the master bedroom and a half bath on the ground floor. Do you suppose that would be large enough for you?
Nah, it's too small. I'd need at least 5 more bedrooms. Just kidding. It would be perfect for us. The extra space will come in handy once we start having kids, too. And I mean, I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. We'd love to live there.
I'm glad to hear it. But are you sure you'll be all right with living in such an old house? It's nothing like the stylish sort of home you young folks are into these days.
I've never been one for following style trends, so I'm sure it won't be a problem. Besides, we can always just put some new furniture or decorations in the house to spice it up a little bit, if we feel so inclined.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful plan. You're welcome to make any alterations to the place that you'd like. So, would you like to come by this weekend and see it in person?
Sure, that'd be great.
You're sure to love the neighbors as well. We've known them for ages. We've met with them several times over the years when they've gone to visit my husband's uncle. They're absolutely wonderful people, so you won't have to worry about any trouble with them.
Man, this house almost sounds like it's too good to be true. Oh, and I suppose we should get this out of the way. What would you like us to pay for rent? Our current budget for rent is $1,500. Is that enough?
$1,500? Oh, don't be ridiculous. That's nowhere near enough. $3,000 a month, no less.
Really?
Of course not.
Man, you had me going for a minute there, Mom. So really, how much should we pay you?
You don't need to pay us a dime.
What? No, I couldn't live there for free. I really would like to pay you something, even if it's just enough to cover property taxes.
I mean it, dear. You don't need to pay us anything. You're doing us a favor. With you two living there, we won't have to worry about fires or break-ins. How about this? Rather than pay us for rent, you can simply take care of the house for us. Mow the grass, trim the hedges, that sort of thing.
I still feel like that's not enough. You know how insane rent is getting these days, right? It would cost us way more than the $3,000 you jokingly said to rent a house that size. But if you say so, then I suppose I'll have to take you up on that offer. Don't worry, we'll take great care of the house.
Thank you so much, dear.
No, don't thank me, Mom. We're the ones who should be thanking you. You can't imagine how much of a help it'll be for us to not have to pay any rent. That's basically our single biggest expenditure as things stand.
Well, then you can put the money that you've been paying in rent into savings from now on. That will come in handy in your future.
You're absolutely right. We'll do our best not to take it for granted and be just as frugal as we've been. With this, we'll be able to save more money this year than we have in the last several years.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I'll send you some pictures of the house in the meantime. Then you can come and see it firsthand this week.
Sounds like a plan. I really can't express enough how much I appreciate this, Mom. Hey there, Mom. I just wanted to tell you thanks again for helping us out with the move the other day, as well as for the gift you gave us. You didn't have to do that. It's enough of a gift that you're allowing us to live here. Really, with this, you won't even need to give us any Christmas presents for the rest of our lives. Sorry it took me a few days to send you a thank you message. We've been busy, as I'm sure you understand.
Don't mention it, dear. It was our pleasure. Have you gotten all your things sorted out then?
Yep, we just got finished unloading the last cardboard box yesterday evening.
Excellent. And are you getting accustomed to the house? How is it treating you?
It's better than I ever imagined. I can't believe we put up with living in an apartment for as long as we did. This is fantastic.
Are you finding it comfortable? Well, the age of the house still has me concerned.
Everything about the house is great, Mom. It's like you said, the renovation was really well done. I especially love the full bath on the second floor. It even has a built-in jacuzzi.
My husband's uncle had excellent taste, didn't he?
Yeah, you can say that again. Oh, and thanks for giving me the idea about turning the basement room into an office.
Oh, so you did take my idea then? That's wonderful. So you have your own office now? I know how often you work from home.
Yeah, that's one of the wonderful things about running your own business. You end up taking work home with you just about every day. I've had to set up shop in the middle of our living room up until now, which Jessica wasn't a big fan of. Now I'll be able to get my work done more efficiently and without bothering my wife.
I'm glad I could do my part to reduce friction between you two. Not that there was ever much friction to begin with. I love seeing how well you and my daughter get along, George.
And a big part of that is thanks to you guys.
Oh?
Yeah, you and Dad have always been really generous to us with presents. You bought us our sofa, TV, microwave, and a few other things, and somehow you always managed to buy us something that we were planning to buy ourselves. That has saved us a lot of trouble and made our lives a lot easier. We really owe a lot to you.
Oh, don't be silly, George. We've never bought you anything that extravagant.
Be that as it may, you've done more for us than we could ever possibly repay, and that was even before you allowed us to live here. We never thought that we would have a house like this. Well, I guess technically we don't have it since it's in your husband's name.
If you'd like, we would be more than willing to sign it over to you. But you'd rather live in a house you built for yourselves, wouldn't you? Actually, that sounds like it would be a wonderful idea. We could demolish that old house you're living in, give you the land, and let you build whatever house you'd like. My husband has been saying that if you two were ever to build a house, he would cover the down payment for you.
You would do that for us? My gosh, Mom, stop giving us so much. The guilt is starting to get overwhelming. I've never met anyone as generous as you in my entire life.
All we want in our life is to see our daughter and the man she chose to be her husband become as happy as possible. We're glad to do whatever we can to make that happen. Good evening, George. I hope I'm not disturbing the two of you by texting this late. Are you going out to dinner or something?
Hey, Mom. No, I'm out of the house right now, but Jessica should be at home. Why do you ask?
She's at home, is she? Oh, that's strange. There doesn't appear to be a single light on in the house. I thought for sure there was nobody home. I just so happened to drive by your house on the way home from a friend's house.
Huh. You know what? I'll bet Jessica just went to bed early. It's almost like sleeping is her hobby or something. There are some days when she's in bed and asleep before 9 o'clock.
Really? Well, that's odd. She was never like that when she was a child. Has she been like this for a while? Is she having any health issues?
No, she's perfectly fine as far as I can tell. She's as healthy as a horse, pardon the metaphor. Was there something you wanted to talk to her about?
I was just concerned about her is all. I haven't heard much of anything at all from her lately. I try calling her, but she doesn't answer. I text her, but she doesn't reply. When I think about it, I haven't seen her in over 2 months now.
I'm sorry, Mom. I should have told you. Jessica is super duper busy right now, and it's all my fault.
What do you mean?
I'm having her help me out with some work stuff.
Could you be more specific?
She was an accountant back before we got married, and her license is still valid, so she's taking care of filing my company's taxes this year. I was never very good with numbers, taxes, paperwork, and that sort of thing, so having her do it for me is a massive help. It lets me focus on the more important business matters.
I see.
And the reason it's particularly bad right now is because we got a huge influx in orders in the last quarter. She's got a stack of paperwork about a yard high that she's got to sort through. So yeah, that's why she's been so busy and tired lately. I'm really sorry.
Oh, you don't need to apologize to me, George. I know you're plenty busy yourself. I'm sure Jessica's proud to be able to support such a capable and hard-working man as yourself.
Hey, I'm nothing compared to Jessica. You should see her when she's on the job. She is super focused, and she seems like she legitimately enjoys it, too. I'll bet she likes doing my paperwork more than she likes doing the housework. Who knows, maybe one of these days I'll put her in charge of the business and take care of the house for her instead.
Ever since she was a little girl, she's always loved being helpful. It's not surprising to hear that she's so jovial about supporting you. This is a tough time for you, so make sure that you're there for each other. I'm sure that the two of you can get through anything as long as you work together.
We'll definitely do that, Mom. I'll have her contact you just as soon as her workload settles down. Again, I'm sorry to make you worry about her. I should have said something to you sooner.
No, I'm sorry for taking time out of your busy schedule. I'll leave you to your work, George. Have a nice evening. Hello there, George. Do you have a minute?
What's up, Mom?
I was wondering, is Jessica with you right now?
She sure is. We're out on a little mini vacation right now. We're staying at a bed and breakfast in the woods, and it is gorgeous.
Oh, well, isn't that nice? Are you enjoying yourselves?
Yeah, it's super relaxing out here. We've been so busy with work lately that I thought it would be nice to have a little overnight outing. You know, just to get away from everything and unwind. So is there something I can do for you? Is something up?
Yes, actually, I received a call from your neighbors. You know, the couple that I told you we were friendly with. They told me that there was something odd with the house, so I came out here to check on it. I'm standing at the front door right now, and I hear a voice calling from inside the house. But you tell me that you're both out at that bed and breakfast, so what in the world could this voice be?
Wait, you're at the house right now?
That's right. When the neighbors told me they heard a strange voice coming from inside the house, I rushed down here right away to see what was going on.
A strange voice? What in the world could that be?
So you're not sure either? Well, in that case, I'm terribly sorry to do this while you're away, but I'm going to head inside and check it out for myself. I brought my spare key with me, so I'll get to the bottom of this.
Wait, Mom, Do not go inside the house.
George, what's the matter?
It's too dangerous for you to go alone. You have no idea what's in there. It could be a burglar.
Oh, you're absolutely right. What was I thinking? I'll call the police and have them come in with me.
No, you don't need to do that. Seriously, it's all right. You don't need to worry about it. You know what? I'll bet that voice is coming from the TV. We were watching a horror movie before we left. I'll bet it got turned on somehow and the movie started playing by itself. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Tell the neighbors it'll be over soon, okay? You can go ahead and go home now.
George, is something wrong? You're acting rather unlike yourself right now.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfectly fine.
Is there some reason that you don't want me to go inside your house, George? Something you don't want me to see?
No, that's not it at all.
Are you sure? It seems to me that there's at least one thing in there you wouldn't want me to see. Namely, the sight of my daughter tied up in the living room.
Did you already go inside the house?
Indeed I did.
That's trespassing. You can't just go into people's houses without permission.
You didn't close the curtains all the way when you left. I could see her through the gaps. You'll have to excuse me for not being more considerate of your privacy after seeing that. Also, lest you forget, my husband and I are still the legal owners of this house. We have every right to enter whenever we please.
But it's still my house. You had no business going in there after I told you not to.
My daughter's safety is more important than your pride as the man of the house. I had no choice but to go in and rescue her as quickly as possible. Jessica told me everything you've been doing to her, George. You've been treating her like some sort of slave.
No, I haven't.
Then why did you bind her arms and legs with duct tape and tie her to the pillar in the living room? Can you explain that to me?
Well, it's, kind of a game, get it?
A game?
You know, the kind of game that adults play in bed. I know it seems odd, but I swear she loves that sort of thing. In fact, she's the one who asked me to tie her up like that. I'm not a particularly big fan. I like doing it the normal way, but she was insistent.
Don't insult my intelligence. She was shouting and crying for help when I found her. That voice the neighbors heard wasn't some horror movie, it was my daughter. You've been tying her up like this for months and forcing her to do your paperwork and the housework in exchange for giving her the bare minimum of food and water. I won't let you treat my daughter like this any longer.
I'm telling you, Mom, don't believe a word she says. Jessica's not the same person she used to be. She's gone insane. I'm not the abusive one. She is. I had to tie her up in order to stop her from attacking me. It was self-defense.
And now you're trying to blame Jessica for this?
Hey, I've been doing the very best job that I can trying to deal with her. I'm the one that got left holding the bag for your failed parenting.
We were completely wrong about you. We thought that you were a wonderful man who truly cared about our daughter, but now we know the truth. I've just taken the liberty of removing your things from the house. You'll find them down by the road in front of the house. You are no longer welcome.
You put my stuff down by the road? You can't do that. That's all my stuff.
On the contrary, my husband is the owner of the house, and we were merely allowing you to live there. That permission has been revoked, effective immediately.
That still doesn't give you the right to throw my stuff outside.
Oh, don't worry, the ground isn't that wet right now, so your things shouldn't get terribly dirty.
That's not the issue. You going all crazy on me is the issue.
After what you've put my daughter through, you think you have the right to call anyone else crazy? I took my daughter to the hospital. They'll be keeping her there overnight for observation. She was dreadfully malnourished. She's lost at least 15 pounds since I last saw her. It must have been torturous for her these last few months. I've talked things over with my husband, and we've decided to take legal action against you.
What? You're gonna sue me? Can't we talk about this? We're family, right? Families don't sue each other.
You are no longer a part of this family. Jessica will divorce you as soon as her health allows.
You can't make her do that.
I don't have to. She wants to divorce you.
Well, I'll never consent!
Once again, you don't need to. Our attorney will take care of you. My husband has been talking to him about the case while I've been taking care of my daughter and disposing of your things. We won't be pulling our punches, George. You should know by now that we will spare no expense when it comes to protecting our daughter's happiness.
Please, you don't have to do this. All I was trying to do was teach her some discipline. It wasn't torture or punishment or slavery or anything like that.
Discipline? Oh, you can't be serious. This is what you call discipline? Exactly what about Jessica was undisciplined, Can you tell me that?
Oh, I'll tell you all about it. That girl is rebellious like you wouldn't believe. This was the only way I could get her to stay in line.
Goodness, George, is English not your strong suit? Asking you to reduce the amount of work you were forcing her to do is not rebellious. Jessica told me everything. Once she started complaining about having too much work, you started threatening her with violence.
What? That's not true. I wasn't threatening her. Sure, maybe I lost my temper and yelled at her a bit, but is that such a crime?
Yelling? No, that is not a crime. Threatening her with violence, restraining her against her will, denying her food and water, those are all serious, serious crimes. All she did was push back against your outrageous expectations of her, and you bound her hands and feet for that?
I told you I had to. She was trying to run away. This was the only way to make sure she stayed in the house.
Yes, you couldn't have her running away, could you? That would have foiled your plan to use her as your slave for the rest of her life. And that's why you concocted this vicious, evil scheme of yours to tie her up and keep her in the house.
Look, Mom, this is a matter between me and my wife. She might not have enjoyed the discipline program I've been putting her through, but it is my prerogative as her husband to do what I see as best for her. And that's what I did. There was never any malicious intent. I was trying to help her.
I am not concerned about your intent. All that matters to me is that your so-called discipline program was grueling enough to put her in the hospital. Are you under the impression that having good intentions is a justification for causing such serious harm to a person? Let's see how far that excuse will take you in a court of law.
Okay, how about a compromise? You drop your lawsuit and get Jessica to stay married to me and not press charges. In return, I'll ease up on the discipline. How's that sound? I swear this time I'll get things right and we'll become the happy family we've always wanted to be.
No family that you're a part of will ever be happy, George. Now stop this foolishness and divorce my daughter without putting up a fuss. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the deepest circle of hell is reserved for those who betray their benefactors. We've been nothing but generous to you, and this is how you repay us? By tormenting our daughter? The time has come for you to go through our discipline program, George. I think you'll find it much harsher than yours. Thanks to the excellent work of my husband's attorney, we were able to make the divorce happen without Jessica ever having to come face to face with George. We settled our civil suit against George with a 6-figure lump sum payment to Jessica to avoid a lengthy and emotionally painful trial. George's legal troubles weren't over yet. He went on to face a criminal kidnapping charge for which he was found guilty and sentenced to 6 months in prison. After he got out, he attempted to get his business back up and running, but without my daughter there to do the heavy lifting, it soon went bankrupt. He tried to find employment with some of the clients who had been loyal to his company over the years, but word had gotten around about his crimes. Having become jobless, penniless, and friendless, George added a fourth less to his name, homeless. It's my understanding that he's now staying in a homeless shelter in the downtown area most of the time. We debated what to do with the house they lived in and eventually decided that the best thing for us would be to sell it. There were too many bad memories in there to use it anymore. As for my daughter Jessica, she was released after a few days in the hospital and moved back into our house. Her first order of business was being able to eat normally again. Once she was able to do that, she started recovering quickly. Within just 3 months, she was already back up to a healthy body weight and started looking for work as an accountant again. One of her old schoolmates, a fine young gentleman, has been stopping by the house quite often lately to check up on her. He came to me the other day to ask if he thought it would be appropriate to ask her out on a date, to which I gave my full blessing. I've known him and his parents ever since he was a little boy. I can rest assured that he'll be an excellent companion for Jessica.
Hey, Sean. Did you already eat the lunch I made for you today? I just wanted to know how it was.
Hey, Allie. Yeah, your lunch was delicious. Allie, thanks for all the effort making my lunch, as well as even though you're always busy working too.
Well, I make lunch for myself anyway, so it's not a problem for me at all. But I was just worried if that amount was always enough for you. I do try to prepare more rice for you than my lunch, but wasn't sure if it was the right amount to make you full.
Yeah, it's just enough for me.
Well, that's good to know, because I've never really cooked any meals for other people besides myself before. So I was worried if it suits your tastes and was enough for you.
Come to think of it, guess you didn't really cook much when we were just going out.
Yeah, I know. I did try to avoid cooking because someone had actually told me before that I was bad at cooking when I was still in my teens, and I've just been afraid to cook for people ever since then.
Oh, really? Well, I think you're doing just fine with cooking.
Well, since I wanted to overcome that, I did actually take cooking lessons after I started working. And I did cook for myself every day, so I should have gotten pretty used to cooking now.
You don't have to worry so much, because everyone is not good at cooking from the beginning, you know?
Yeah, I know, but if someone says things like that to you directly in your face, it is pretty shocking. Though I've been trying hard going through all of that, honestly, I'm still not confident about cooking yet.
Hey, I have a good idea. Why don't you ask my mom to teach you about cooking? And then you can learn her recipes as well.
Oh, really? Your mother's good at cooking?
Yeah, I've eaten other people's dishes and eaten meals at other restaurants, but honestly, I do think my mom's cooking is the best of all.
Really? Is that so? If you say so, I would like to eat your mother's dishes someday.
Well, that's no problem, because you can eat it anytime you want. Do you want to go visit her over the weekends? I'm sure she would be happy to teach you anything about cooking.
Sure, if your mother's available, I'd love to visit her someday. Oh, but shouldn't we invite your mother to our house before that? Since we started living together, we haven't invited either of our parents to our house yet, right? I was just thinking that maybe that should come first.
Well, I understand what you mean, but it's not like we built a new house or anything, so I don't think we have to go all the way to invite them there. Of course. To say that they want to visit us, I don't mind, but actually, I was thinking that it's just about time I wanted to eat my mom's dishes, so you should just come visit her and might as well eat her dishes with me together.
Do you really think your mother's dishes are that delicious compared to mine? And I will be able to become better at cooking them?
No, it's not like I'm saying that your dishes aren't good. It's just that my mom's dishes are probably too good.
Oh, really? Well then, I'll try my best to follow your mother's cooking as much as possible.
Oh, really? That's great, Allie. If you can follow my mom's recipes and make meals like her, then it will definitely improve my quality of life. Because honestly, I do think my mom's cooking is the most delicious in the world. Oh no, can't wait to eat her meals, now that I started thinking about it.
Really? The best in the world? Well, that's certainly pressure for me. Honestly, you've set a high standard for me, but I'll try my best, okay?
But Allie, before that, I think you should know. You see, my mom can basically do anything, so I don't think you should compare yourself to her. She's so perfect at cleaning up our house, doing cooking, and she even has a successful career. She even helped me graduate from university, taking care of me as a single parent. So she just handles everything so well and is such a perfect person.
Wow, that's really amazing. Raising a child as a single parent, doing housework and working so hard, handling everything perfectly all at once by herself.
Yeah, I know. She's just a perfect mom and I really do respect her for that. But honestly, I think you, Allie, have just the same potential as my mom too. Just like my mom, you work hard and have a career. And as for cooking, though you're not at my mom's level yet, I think you're getting pretty close to her.
Do you really think so? Well, after hearing all about her, it does seem like you really like your mother, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's because she was my only parent and we were so close together. I've grown up to now, thanks to my mom, and I've always appreciated that. And of course, all children love their parents, you know? Hey, Allie, do you not like your parents so much?
Of course, it's not like I hate them, and I respect them as well, but I don't think my feelings towards my parents are as strong as yours, Sean.
Well, I guess there aren't many women like my mom anywhere. She's just so amazing, I guess I can't help saying that. Well then, I will go ahead and tell my mom that we'll come visit her next time. And I'll tell her to prepare meals for us to eat.
Okay, thanks. Well then, good luck at work during the afternoon, too.
Thanks. You too, Allie. And just remember, I'm coming home around the same time as usual. So can you prepare dinner for me? Hey, Allie. I've just got to tell you about this. It's about this morning's breakfast, but do you understand the reason why I stopped eating it?
It's because you didn't like it, right?
Well, yeah, but it's just that the soup you made just tasted the worst of all.
Really? Did the soup taste that bad?
It just tasted so disgusting. How can you make such a soup like that?
Well, I did cook the soup from broth, so it should have had some flavor to it.
Well then, why does it taste so bad? Did you mistake the cooking procedures? I know you tasted Mom's soup last month when she made it for us, so I can't understand why it turns out this way when you try cooking it. Remember, you said you will try following her cooking, but this is off to a bad start. What did you actually learn from eating her meals?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just so nervous meeting her, and her dishes were already made when we arrived at your house, so I even asked her how she made it casually, but she said everything is just made roughly and nothing is really special about it. So I really didn't have a chance to ask her about the details of her recipe and procedures of cooking.
But can't you imagine how it tastes and what the ingredients are just by eating it? I suppose you would be able to notice what's missing from your cooking. I do think you have enough cooking experience from the past to be able to recognize that. Hey, wait. Or was it a lie that you said you went to cooking lessons? Because I'm starting to doubt the fact that you actually did now.
No, believe me, I did take cooking lessons before. So I don't think I'm mistaking the basic procedures about cooking because I've learned that from my lessons and past experience. But I just can't understand why everything tastes so different from your mother's cooking. I've tried so many ways, but it all just doesn't seem to work out.
Hey, I really don't want to say these things to you, but I'm going to have to say this for your sake. Allie, I have to admit that your cooking doesn't taste good.
What?
It's not like it's horrible, but it just doesn't taste good. I've been trying not to say this to you, but I think you should work on your cooking more. If it's that quality, I suppose buying already prepared dishes at the supermarket would be much better.
What? Does that mean you've been eating all my meals this time thinking they were not good?
You should at least thank me for being kind, always eating it all up even if it was not good. As we are newlyweds, I hesitated being honest with you about your cooking, but just the thought that this is going to continue this way, it's getting a little too tough for me to bear with it.
Honestly, is my cooking that bad?
Well, I can at least eat it, but if I compare it with my mom's dishes, then there is definitely a big difference between it. Because I've grown up always eating those delicious dishes that she made for me. So I guess I just do have a higher standard, and it's difficult for me to eat dishes that are lower quality than that. You ate my mom's dishes, and you actually thought they were delicious too, right?
Yeah, they were all delicious, but honestly, that's all I thought, and I guess I didn't think it was the best in the world or beats any other restaurant.
Oh really? That's so. Allie, I'm a bit disappointed. I guess you have no sense of taste. That's probably why you've been told that your cooking is bad. Perhaps you haven't eaten much homemade dishes at home? Or Allie, was your mother bad at cooking too? I guess that's probably why your cooking doesn't improve at all.
Hey, Sean, isn't that an impolite thing to say to me? I've been trying to bear with your rude comments, but it's going past the limits,
Well, I think that you're the one who's impolite. Because remember, you said that my mom's cooking was not good.
Hey, don't get me wrong, because I didn't say that it wasn't good. I just said that it wasn't like it was the best dishes in the world like you said. And I think there are other people who can make good dishes as well.
I don't think you have the right to talk about cooking, you bad cook. I just think that you have a bad tongue.
Hey, I just think you've been saying too many rude things to me lately. My cooking might not be the perfect taste like your mother's dishes that you demand, but I want you to understand that I'm trying my best to get closer to that as much as possible.
But if you continue to cook that way, it's just going to produce garbage.
Excuse me? You're saying that my cooking is just garbage? I can't believe this. How can you say such a horrible thing?
Well, if you compare it to my mom's dishes, then I guess I'll have to say it is. I remember that you were the one who said that you wanted to be able to follow her recipe, so I want you to keep your promises that you made. You know I wouldn't have said such a thing if I knew your cooking was going to improve.
Well, I'll try my best to do so, but then you have to promise me to do this for me as well.
Huh? Promise to do what?
Even though we're both working, I'm the only one who's doing all the chores in the household. And you basically have done nothing or even tried to help me out. So I'm asking you, can you at least help clean the house? I think you should start taking responsibility for some of the chores around the house too. Because it's just tough for me to do everything for you in our house because I'm also working.
What? Why do I have to clean up the house? Because my mom was capable of doing that all by herself even if she was working. So I just don't see why you can't do that all by yourself.
Huh? Were you not thinking of sharing those responsibilities between us even after we got married? You just thought that I will do all of them for you? Remember, I'm not your mother, Sean.
Of course I know that. But if it were my mom, She would have done the household chores more perfectly, though.
Hey, Sean, after listening to all your comments about your mother, I'm starting to think that you may be a mama's boy.
What? No! You're trying to insult me because you just can't do things properly.
Because you've just been comparing me with your mother all the time, and I'm getting sick of that.
So you are just jealous of my mom, aren't you? Hey, you shouldn't blame things on people just because you can't do it. Allie, I'm really disappointed to know that you actually were that kind of person. I do feel like I was fooled by you now. If I were going to be insulted by you like this, I guess I shouldn't have gotten married with you in the first place.
Huh? You should know that I have even more things to say about this to you.
Anyway, can you please make something decent for tonight's dinner? A wife has to support her husband's health by what he eats, you know?
If you have so many complaints about my cooking, why don't you try cooking for yourself?
Excuse me? Did you just give up what you said about being a better cook? They're all just words, you know?
All right, fine.
What kind of behavior is that? I'm trying to be honest saying these things to you for your sake.
Anyway, I'm working right now, so I'm just not in the mood to listen to this. Can we just continue this conversation tonight when we get home? Hello, Maggie. Is it all right to talk to you now?
Oh, hello, Allie. Sure, it's okay to talk to you now, since I'm just having my lunch break. But what did you want to talk about? Is something wrong?
I'm sorry to contact you while you're at work, but I just wanted to ask you about cooking.
Ask me about cooking? Well, I'm not sure if I can be any help to you about that.
Maggie, can you please teach me how to cook your soup? Like the ingredients and the cooking procedures to make it. Since I visited your house the other day and had your soup you served me, I've been trying to make your soup for Sean by different ways, but he just says that it doesn't taste the same as yours and doesn't eat it at all.
Really? Are you saying that my son is complaining about your cooking? Well, that's a horrible thing for him to do, because he should be thankful for having you make meals for him.
Well, they're not complaints, but he continues to say that he likes your soup better than mine.
I see. Well, I guess that's just easy to make, because all you have to do is pour hot water in it. It's just that simple.
What? It's just hot water? Are you saying that it was just instant food?
Yes, that's absolutely right. You didn't notice that it was?
No, I actually didn't at all.
Wow, I'm so surprised to know that.
Can you please tell me which brand it is and where you bought it?
Basically, I'm not very particular with my choices, but I do use food from private brands of supermarkets a lot. It's something you eat every day, and, just eating soup is good for your health, right? So I'm just using the cheapest one sold at the supermarket.
Oh, really?
Perhaps you were expecting a perfect answer, like I was making the soup from broth, didn't you? And like I'm going through taking time and effort for each cooking procedure? I'm so sorry that I didn't meet your expectations and don't have any good tips for cooking.
No, it's not like I was expecting that, but since Sean was saying that you were really good at cooking, I just thought there must be so many complicated cooking procedures to make those delicious dishes.
Wait, Sean said that I'm a good cook? Oh, you've got to be kidding. That's such a surprise.
But all the dishes you made for me last time I visited were really delicious.
Didn't you notice that all the food that I served are basically prepared food from the supermarket? Oh, but when you came to visit me, I did buy those dishes at the department store because it was such a special occasion. So they may have tasted better than what I usually buy. Honestly, what I actually made was just only the salad. You see, Allie, I have always been bad at cooking. Because I was a single parent and just didn't have any time to cook. I'm so sorry. Sean must have been misunderstanding the situation all throughout his life, and I'm just so surprised to realize that now.
Well, it does seem like that. If it's okay with you, can I go ahead and tell Sean that you've been buying prepared food from the supermarket?
Of course that's fine with me. I've just always thought that he knew all about this, because he should have been the one to notice that I was busy all the time since we were so close.
Unfortunately, he does still think that everything served at home was homemade dishes by you. So that's why he said that my cooking wasn't good.
What? He said the dishes you made were not good?
Yes, that's true. He even actually said it was just garbage.
What? Garbage? Is that what he actually said? Oh, my dear Allie, I'm just so disappointed that he would say such horrible things to you. I'm so sorry about that. I guess if I had taught him how to do the household chores properly from way before when we were living together, this wouldn't have happened, probably.
Since I kept doing everything for him, I guess he just didn't understand what you're going through now. I feel so bad about this. Oh, this is all my fault. No, not at all. Maggie, please don't apologize because this is not your fault. I just started cooking after I started working, so I don't have that much cooking experience to make quality dishes for him. And I guess Sean was just misunderstanding the whole situation about cooking. So I guess this is a situation we must solve between ourselves. But as he's been saying so many horrible things to me ever since we got married, honestly, I'm having a hard time putting up with it and starting to have difficulties trusting him now. Oh no, Sean's been acting like that lately after you got married? I'm so sorry that my son is just so thoughtless. Of course you can tell him all about this and just tell him straight how you've been thinking. Yes, now I think I can do so. Thank you for understanding, Maggie. I'll tell Sean everything about how I've been feeling. I'm so glad I was able to talk to you.
Hey, Allie? Please come back.
I can't believe this. I've only gone out for a week, but you're already whining about this? That is so miserable.
I'm so sorry, Allie. Please, let me apologize. I was wrong about all of this. I want you to understand that I just didn't know that handling all the household chores was this difficult.
Well, it's about time you noticed. I've always been the one doing the cooking, cleaning up, and the laundry while I was working all by myself. But even so, you just kept insulting me, saying that my cooking was so bad, and even said that it was garbage, when you should have been thankful of even being served meals cooked by me.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't imagine that my mom's soup was just instant food.
And not just her soup, but even her main dishes were prepared food from the supermarket. And you've been thinking that her meals were the best in the world all this time? What do you have to say about that?
I know. I feel so embarrassed about that. I've been doing all the chores by myself now. I finally realized how tough this was and what you were actually going through. I was definitely wrong about this and said really terrible things to you.
Well, good then. But remember, I'm never forgiving you for saying those things, like I have a bad tongue or my mom is a bad cook.
I know. My mom even scolded me about that. I was relying on you too much. So I'm regretting what I said to you from the bottom of my heart.
Are you regretting this because your mother told you to do so?
No, of course not. I do really think that I was wrong, but I do think it is my mom's fault for being so perfect. Though she had taken care of me as a single parent, I've never gone through any tough experiences and I never had any financial troubles either thanks to her continuous efforts. I really appreciate her for what she has done for me up until now.
So what? Don't you understand that has nothing to do with me, right? And it's not just the insults you said about my cooking that I can't forgive you about. It was so stressful that you always compared everything I do with your mother.
What? I do think I only compared you with her cooking and nothing else.
I can't believe this. You're saying that you don't remember any of this? Whatever I do, you've always been comparing me with your mother in our daily lives. Like how I fold the laundry is different from your mother, and saying that the cleanup procedures are different from hers. And that she always finished up the household chores before going to work. Whatever I say, you said that your mother would understand. You just had a habit of saying that, comparing everything to your mother's way. I'm just fed up with listening to all of that any further.
Well, you've got to believe me that I didn't intend to hurt you by doing that. But you know that I've been with her for a long time when I was living with my mom, so since she was always there close to me, I guess I just can't help that.
Well, I can't just tolerate with your excuse saying that you can't help it. And I've already had enough of this. Honestly, I'm not confident enough now that I can continue this marriage with you anymore.
What? Does that mean you're actually going to divorce me?
Yeah, that's right. I'm actually thinking about a divorce. I've been thinking about many things all during this week, but comparing everything with your mother has been so annoying since we got married. And you also said that my cooking was bad, and there were times when you didn't eat what I made at all, right? I couldn't forgive you for that either.
I promise I will eat everything you cook from now on. And I don't mind if you serve instant food either.
I just realized that it was so meaningless to put so much effort into cooking meals for you, Sean. I should have bought prepared foods at the supermarket in the first place like your mother always did, because prepared foods sold are quite delicious these days.
I think that is a little, because I actually don't like prepared food much.
But remember, you're the one who actually said that it's the best food in the world up until now. So I think that should be enough for you, and preparing homemade dishes is just meaningless.
No, come to think of it now, I think your meals were actually pretty good.
Well, that's too late to mention after going through all of this. Because I was particular about selecting high-quality ingredients and seasonings for the meals I cook for you, and was putting a lot of effort into cooking so that you would say it's delicious. But that was all meaningless because you just thought my cooking was like garbage. Can you actually imagine how I felt being told that? I just really felt useless every day.
Hey, Allie, just listen. I need you to calm down and think this through more carefully. Don't divorce me by such a stupid reason. Because it's not like I did something crucial like having an affair with someone. I don't see why you're bringing up a divorce just against this.
What? Did you say this is stupid? Well, I just can't accept the fact that you can say that this is all stupid. Like having an affair with someone or being hit by violence. Even if it's not a crucial reason like this, I just couldn't take this any longer and still even thought that I wanted to divorce you. To make you understand, I was hurt just as bad as if you had actually had an affair with someone.
Allie, I am so sorry. I'm really serious about this. Please let me apologize to you. I will even get down on my knees to apologize and do anything you say. So please don't divorce me. I definitely can't tell Mom about this, because I know she'll be shocked if she hears that I had to divorce you.
Oh, there you go again. It's always about your mother, isn't it? If your mother is just so important to you, why don't you just give up on marriage and continue to stay with her? Actually, I do recall that you didn't even mention about your mother before we got married. I suppose you were trying not to mention about that and hide that from me because you didn't want me to know that you were a mama's boy, didn't you? Now I guess I'm actually the one who thinks I was fooled by you. And as you said to me before, if I knew this was happening, I shouldn't have married you in the first place. After that, thanks to my mother-in-law who helped persuade my husband, who was reluctant to get the divorce, we finally got divorced. As my mother-in-law realized that my husband was a mama's boy to some extent, she made a promise not to see my husband until he was able to do the basic household chores on his own. But as a result, my husband got so depressed that he couldn't see his mother and just stayed home in bed from the impact of the divorce and missing his mother. He was even absent from work for a while without reporting to his company and eventually had to quit his job too. As he still didn't do any of the chores during that period as well, his house became so dirty that my husband himself started to smell so horribly. My mother-in-law was in despair when I met her, being so shocked to have created such a monster who couldn't do anything by himself. However, as she thought that it was going to cause further trouble to the neighborhood if she continues to leave him in a situation like that, it seems that she's going to have her big brother take care of my husband for a while. It seems that my mother-in-law was also thinking of training my husband strictly to be able to do things on his own, but she just knew that being with her wouldn't be a punishment for my husband and wouldn't do him any good. And as it seems that her brother is a strict person, she was relieved that he accepted to take care of him since my husband will be properly trained by him. Even though he's my ex-husband that I divorced, I do still think that he's a really troublesome person from the bottom of my heart. Though I've cut off my relationship with him, I still do have coffee with my mother-in-law sometimes as we've become good friends. Because I do respect her for what she's done for my ex-husband as a mother and with her successful working career. We're getting along with each other as she teaches me a lot of valuable things to learn as a senior of life to look up to. As I do understand that this is a really strange situation for us, but I enjoy being with her so much that it does make me think that I may have gotten married to my husband just to meet my mother-in-law. Although I had to go through many tough times for this, I guess meeting my mother-in-law was one thing I need to appreciate about this marriage and divorce. And I'm really thankful for my mother-in-law for always being so considerate and supportive, continuing this relationship with me after thinking about what she's gone through with her son, too. As it might take a while for me to completely recover from this divorce, as my hurt feelings still haven't been healed, and I can't think of having a new relationship with someone yet, but I will try to keep doing what I can now, gradually, step by step, so I can eventually move forward with a positive mind, hoping I can enjoy my new life waiting ahead of me. Thank you for watching Peep Talk videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to leave any comments. Please visit us again to check out the next video.
MJ, I heard that you got engaged the other day. Congratulations.
What? Why do you know about any of that?
Because your father told me all about it.
Really? So my dad went and told you all of the details about me?
Is it wrong for me to hear about that sort of thing?
I told him not to talk to anyone else about it for right now, so that I could surprise everyone later.
Oh, so you didn't want anyone hearing about this besides him?
Well, it's too late to do anything about that now, so whatever. I mean, you and him are married to one another after all, so it makes sense that he'd think it's okay to tell you. Should have been more clear about what I wanted with him. Oh, just make sure not to tell anyone else about this, alright?
Well, I'm sorry that I found out through him. Your father and I won't tell anyone else about you getting engaged, so don't you worry about a thing. Now, what kind of surprise are you planning to carry out for everyone else?
I plan on posting on social media about my fiancé and I the day we go to the courthouse and get married. I wanted to write a long message on that post and surprise all of my other family and friends.
So that was your plan? Well, I'm sure that everyone is still going to be very surprised by this. I know that I only just heard about this a little bit ago from your father, but considering we're all living with one another, please forgive him for opening his mouth.
However, you and I aren't related by blood or anything. So to me, you're less like family and more like my dad's friend.
But to me, I really think of you as my daughter. I'm sure that you've never really felt that way before, but
I am thankful that you took the time to get married to my dad and all that long time ago. And when I said that I wanted to get right to work after graduating from high school, you jumped in and got my dad to agree with letting me to do all of that. I really do appreciate all you've done for me in the past, taking my side during everything.
I guess things like that did happen in the past. I remember back when you were getting ready to graduate, you and your father fought a lot about things.
It was when I told him that I wasn't going to college or anything that he got so upset with me that he blew up. You coming in to save the day there by setting him straight really did save me. And because of that, he was willing to help me pay to move out of the house for a while.
All of that brings back some good memories from those days. And to think that the you from back then is going to be getting married now. It's all too quick for me. But that's just the way time is, I suppose, always moving by faster than we can realize. I remember the first time I ever met you. You were still in middle school. You really have gone from a little girl to being a beautiful young woman.
That's very true. Back in those days, I was nothing more than just a kid. I remember how everything went down around me when my dad decided to get married again.
You were still young and going through puberty, so having a new woman like me joining your family really made you upset, right?
Well, to be honest, I didn't want you in the family. But it's Dad's life, and he gets to make those choices for himself. And after he married you, I was a pretty rebellious little girl. But now that I think about you, I find that you're all right. I guess moving out of the house for a while helped me realize those things about you.
I'm so glad that you and I are able to talk about things like this now that you're an adult and all. I'm sorry that while you were still so young, you had to go through things only adults should be faced with.
Stop worrying about all of that now. I know I don't care anymore. Now back to me getting married. If my dad says anything against it or about how he doesn't like my fiancé, make sure to set him straight again for me.
I don't think he's going to be against anything this time. Both your father and myself are so happy to see you found the man of your dreams.
You have no idea, though. When it comes to my dad, he's still got his head stuck in the past. And he only ever wants for me to marry a man that is a hard worker and makes good enough money. So when it comes to my fiancé, I'm not too sure he's going to like him.
Tell me, what kind of work is your fiancé doing right now?
He's a musician, actually. But the kind of work he does isn't very stable, so I can see my dad being all against him. I can hear him saying that he wants me to find a man with a more stable job right now or something like that.
I don't think your father has had those kinds of thoughts going through his head. If your fiancé is really able to make things work by being a musician, that's amazing.
Right? And not only that, but he's a really hot man as well. He told me that in the past he was a model and everything at an agency.
So he's a really outgoing person, I assume. But thankfully he was able to find himself a super pretty woman like you to hook. I'm sure you both will make for a very attractive couple once you've married.
I guess my face is pretty good compared to other women my age. Thank God I never ended up looking like my dad either. My real mom was a very gorgeous woman, so it's thanks to her that I look so sexy.
I guess that's right.
But you know, for someone as good looking as my mom was, my dad still ended up divorcing her. I guess things like marriage really are difficult to understand for people.
That's right. And I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that ended up going down with both your mother and your father back then that even we couldn't understand.
Well, I have confidence that my fiancé and I will be in love with one another for the rest of our lives. I mean, he's falling head over heels for me all the time when we hang out.
Well, that's such a wonderful thing to hear, MJ. I think that you both will do so well together as husband and wife, and that you both will never have to worry about a thing in the future. MJ, I just arrived at the wedding venue. I'm in the family waiting room right now with all the others talking and waiting for things to start, but do you want me to come over and see you? I would like to see how things are going and make sure you don't need my help with anything. And, well, I really want to see you in that wedding dress as soon as possible.
You can send Dad over here whenever he's ready. But you can go ahead and head back home now, Andrea.
Wait, what was that? Why do you want me going back home when I only just got here?
I took some time to think a lot of things over, you see. And, well, I came to the conclusion that I really don't need someone like you after all.
You don't need someone like me? What do you mean by that?
Since you aren't related to me by blood or anything, I'd rather you not be here sitting with the rest of my family today. Also, with me getting married to my fiancé now, I'm about to become part of a completely different family. Don't you think this is the best time for me to focus on them more than some stranger like you?
But you and I have been like mother and daughter for the past 10 years.
Sure, as stepmother and stepdaughter.
Even if we are only related by marriage, I've always seen and treated you like my own daughter. I've always thought of you as my own, and that's why I put a lot of my time and energy into raising you as such.
The one who raised me was my dad, not you, Andrea. It's because of my dad's income that I was able to survive under him.
I'm sure that his job and the money did play a big part in you being raised.
To be open with you, I always found you and that attitude towards me totally annoying and wrong. I just didn't want to get my dad any more upset with me than he was at times, so I made sure to keep my mouth shut about all of that. But man, was it hard for me to look at some desperate woman like yourself who only ever married my dad for his money and nothing else, try and act like she was my mom for the past 10 years now.
I never married your father for his money. Why would you ever even say such a mean thing about me in the first place?
Because I know for sure that that's the truth with you. Why would my dad ever choose to marry such a sad excuse for a woman like you? It really is the hardest mystery for anyone to solve, I bet. Perhaps you fooled him into marriage and he never left you because he didn't want a divorce twice.
Why are you saying all of these things about your father and I right now? Are you saying that after all this time, you never did really consider me a part of your family at all?
I don't ever remember saying to you that I loved you or thought of you like my mom, right? Honestly, I didn't really care at all about who became my dad's wife back then and was just trying to get through school. It was all his choice in the end and never mattered to me. But that never meant I agreed with his new wife trying to act like she's been my mom for the past decade or so. And I do not want to read any letters of thanks and love from someone like you on a day like my wedding.
So that's how you've always thought about us and our relationship? But the last time we really talked, you never said anything like what you're saying to me right now. When you came to talk with me about the work you'd found and such, you told me that you appreciated my help and such, right?
Oh, come on now. Me saying thanks to you then wasn't anything special, and it doesn't mean that you get to hold that against me. I just wanted you to know that you were helpful was all, and not completely useless. But let's be honest here. Besides things like that, you haven't been any use to me at all.
So that's how you felt about me this whole time then?
And that's right. I have always hated your guts so much, and still kind of do. But at this point, none of that means anything anymore, right? No point in hiding our true feelings from one another anymore either. I'm going to have my own family now, which means that you and I no longer have to force ourselves to like one another. Now, with all of that having been said, you can go right on home. I'm about to make my own life of happiness now, and you will no longer have anything to do with my life. So please, leave me alone.
So you're really serious about using your wedding and marriage today as a way of cutting me out of your life, right?
That's what I've been saying this whole time, Andrea. All I ask of you now is to take good care of my dad for me.
I see. All right then. I'll take what all you've said to me with respect and not ignore one bit of it. I will no longer come around you anymore, and I will do my best to never contact you again. That should be all you want, right?
That's right. And make sure to do all of that for me right now, please. And good work with all you had done for me out of whatever that fake love you had for me was. Bye-bye. Have you gone home now? You're not still here at my wedding trying to hide from me or anything, right?
I just wanted to check with you one last time about this. Are you really sure that you're fine with what you've said to and asked of me?
I've told you that that's all I'm wanting right now. You're really being a pain in the butt for me right now asking that again. And you told me a little bit ago that you never talk to me again either, right?
I know that's what I said, but to me, you're like my very own daughter, and as my daughter, I'm just a bit worried about you right now. I think that this is my parental instincts kicking in and telling me that I need to check with you one last time about everything.
Huh? Stop trying to act like you've actually been my real parent this whole time when you haven't been. All you've been to me is a stepmother and nothing else. So stop it with all that parenting crap right now. It's just disgusting hearing you say all of that.
Good point. Me calling you my daughter all these years wasn't right of me. I don't even have a daughter in reality.
That's absolutely right. You've never ever had a daughter before, and you and I are just strangers. Now you cut that parenting crap out right now and get a grip, please. Now, I need to go out and practice for the wedding one last time before the real deal happens. You being the old hack stranger that you are need to go home right now.
I'm already on my way home, MJ. I knew it was a waste of time for me to be at that wedding venue any longer than I had to be, so I left a while ago. And it's not like it would matter if I stayed away, because I'm sure that your wedding is going to be canceled here soon.
What kind of nonsense are you talking about now, Andrea? Are you crying like a sore loser or something?
You're still not aware of what I'd done?
What did you do?
Do you see any of the staff around right now setting up the wedding? Doesn't it seem strange that they all stopped what they were doing and that nobody is out putting up any more of the decorations? I think at this moment all of them are listening to the wedding organizer tell them a very crazy piece of news.
Seriously, I have no idea what you're going on about right now. What are you trying to say to me about my wedding? If you have something you want to say and you want me to know, then say it to me right now.
You'll understand what I'm talking about really soon here, so I shouldn't have to say anything else. Just hang tight and that news will be coming to you next.
Hold on a sec. I've been waiting here for a little bit now and the organizer still hasn't come out to meet with me and do one last practice. Does this have something to do with what you're talking about?
Oh my, seems things have been set into motion now.
Huh? What do you mean things have been set into motion now? Hey, Andrea, did you do something in my wedding before you left?
I told you a second ago that I was sure your wedding would end up canceled, right? And it's not only myself who's heading back home right now. I believe that almost all of your guests and such are starting to head home themselves.
Why the hell is someone like you allowed to do something like that to me? You have no right telling my guests to go home and that my wedding is actually canceled, right? What the hell have you done?
How about you go and ask your good-looking husband about that? And then you should know what all has happened and what is to happen with that wedding of yours. Goodbye now.
I was told that the wedding is really being canceled now, and the one that they said was going to make sure was canceled was my husband. Why would he say something like that?
Why would you ask me? You're the one that asked for all of this to happen to you guys.
What the actual hell did you end up doing?
I told you I did nothing at all. I just did what you told me to do, and that was go home. The one that started asking for the wedding to be canceled was your own father. And it seems that he went and had a really good talk with your husband about the reason why that happened. He then told your husband that he should have your wedding canceled at once.
I have no clue what you're talking about right now. Why would my dad ever do that to me on my wedding day of all days?
What you said and did to me today was the worst thing I've ever had happen to me. When I showed your father all of the things you said to me over text earlier, he was furious about it. And then he let out this yell before saying that if you were going to treat your stepmother, who raised you for 10 years like that, then you don't deserve this wedding.
I told you to tell him a lie about why you were leaving so this wouldn't happen though, right? Why would you go out of your way to do that to me anyway? This is supposed to be one of the biggest days of my life ever. And by the way, why would Dad be going over to my husband to talk about something like that and asking that he cancel the wedding?
Remember how you and your husband only paid for about a third of this wedding, right? Did you forget who it was that paid for the other 2/3 again?
I know that it was my dad that helped pay for a large part of this wedding and all. But for him to go and ask for this wedding to be canceled today, his own daughter's wedding?
The one who really forked over their money for your wedding today wasn't your father. That was just what your father told you. But in reality, it was someone else, MJ.
Huh? Then who the hell was it?
Me. I'm the one that paid for the other 2/3 of your wedding.
There is no way on God's green earth that you're the one who paid for all of this. There is no way someone like you could even pay that kind of money to have my wedding, right? All you even are is a basic housewife as well.
I suppose I am just a simple old housewife for your father, but that doesn't mean I don't have a whole lot of money saved up. You heard the story from me before, how my parents both passed away when I was younger, right? Well, after all of that had happened and their funerals were over, I was told that the both of them had left me with a very, very generous amount of money and some other properties as well.
You're lying. I don't remember you ever telling that story.
Perhaps not about the money, but you did hear about my parents, right? I just didn't feel comfortable telling you about that money at the time.
Why didn't you feel comfortable telling me about something that important?
Because at the time, you were still pretty new to me, and so I didn't think that a middle schooler I didn't know well enough needed to hear about it. And when it comes to me, I know that talk about money can lead to a lot of trouble down the road for all parties involved. Also, I was told by your own father not to talk with you yet about the money I had, because he didn't think you were old enough to hear about it either.
Why would he say that? The fact that you both hid all of this from me is screwed up.
It seems your father didn't want me to say a thing to you about it until after you got over those bad habits of yours. I mean, look, had you found out that I had a lot of money, too much money for myself to have, you might come and try asking for it from me all the time, right? Your father didn't want that for me.
What the hell did you think of me? I would never ever ask for your money over and over like you're saying.
But MJ, explain all those times you'd steal money from my wallet in the past. Your father and I both knew about that happening, and that's why neither one of us could trust you learning about the amount I had. And that's why it was kept a secret from you for this long.
But that's all of my parents' money, right? You guys should be telling your daughter about things like money, because I have a right to that money someday when you kick the can and have to leave it to someone.
You're the child that your father brought along with him in the marriage, which means you have no right to the money, actually. And I never ended up adopting you as my own child in the marriage or afterwards, right? Therefore, this money I have right now will never be touching your fingertips.
What? You're telling me that I'll never be able to get that money after you die? Why can't I? You go and adopt me right now, Andrea.
But you were the one that refused me adopting you when I had asked, right? I told you that I would respect your decision, and that's why your father and I never did anything in terms of adopting you ever again afterwards. Did you forget about all of that, too?
You think I'd really remember something like that? And wait, you probably asked me that back when I was in my rebellious phase, right? You can't take what I said back then seriously.
Well, what does any of that matter now, MJ? Anyway, as you can see now, I've had a lot of money all this time. And I know you were saying that it was me who wanted to marry your father for his money and all before, but now you can see that you had the wrong idea of me, right?
I can see that now.
Anywho, I'm the one who ended up paying for 2/3 of your wedding. You really think you can get away with making such terrible remarks about me earlier and still have your wedding without any issues? That's not the way things work at all in this world, and you should be aware of that now.
But even if that's true, canceling my wedding on the day of it is insane. Are you wanting for me to be embarrassed now?
Don't you think being embarrassed by all of this today fits someone as selfish as you? Oh, that's right. Your father will be the one who explains all that's happened today to your guests. He said that he's going to make sure to tell them everything and anything they'd like to hear, as to avoid any confusion.
Hey, wait! You stop all of that right now! Why the hell would my real dad want to go and ruin his only daughter's wedding like that? You guys all stop screwing around with me right now!
If you're going to get all upset like that at me now, you're really going to make things worse. Remember that it was also you who asked that we cut ties to one another now, right? Well, that means I have no reason to be paying for some stranger's wedding anymore as well. If you really want to have this wedding of yours today, act like an adult and pay for it all yourself, please.
I couldn't pay for it all, and that's why I had to ask my dad for help.
Well, if you were expecting only him to pay, you have more to worry about than you think. Because, sure, he can help pay still, but what about your husband now? Seems that after what your father told me, he no longer wants to be married to you anymore. Congratulations on the divorce, MJ. I heard from your father that your husband is going to be divorcing you now?
This is not something you should be freaking celebrating when I'm having to go through so much shock and hell as things are.
Well, it was his parents who were both against your marriage in the end, right? There's really no other choice but to accept this divorce and move on to someone else.
Well, this is all happening because you had to go and open your mouth to my dang dad about all of that useless crap between you and I.
Well, if the wedding was going to be canceled anyway because it wouldn't be paid for, everyone there had a right to know what the reason for me not paying anymore was, right? And that's why I told your father everything you'd done to me, and then he told everyone else in my place. Not only was your husband in shock from what he'd heard and seen, but so was the rest of his family too. Of course, it makes sense for him to not want to stay married to someone as disrespectful as you.
Come back here right now, Andrea.
Why should I do that?
I will apologize to you for everything if you just come back here. I want to make things right with you now.
You think that your apologies for everything are going to end with me forgiving you?
You can at least act like you've forgiven me. I just need you to come back here and act like you love me again. I only want to avoid being divorced, and then we don't have to see one another anymore. If I make it seem like we just had a small mother and daughter fight, they should be all right with me staying married, right?
I don't really want anything to do with you anymore, though. And this had nothing to do with a small mother-daughter fight. I mean, you and I aren't even related to one another, right?
I will take everything I ever said to you back, okay? I am really, really sorry about what I said.
I kind of enjoy this feeling of you not only losing your wedding today, but you losing your husband and his family as well. But the wedding being canceled on the day of means I won't be getting a lot of that money back I wasted on you. So could you please pay me back everything I spent? And I mean every penny I had to put into that failed wedding of yours.
What? There is no way I could do something like that for you.
If you're not going to give me my money back, then I'll have to sadly take you to court and sue you.
The only kind of work I've ever done is a part-time job, though. So there's no way I can give you any money right now. You're the one out of all of us who has a lot of money, right? Why are you getting so upset about some $40,000 being lost?
The thing is, I'm not upset about the money at all, really. I just want to make you pay for having said such heartless and cruel things to me earlier, that nobody should ever say to those that have done so much for them. You need to understand the kind of childish crap you pulled today, and why, as an adult, you can't say those things.
I already know that what I said was not okay. I know that because I've not only lost my wedding now, but my husband as well. If I have to pay a large amount of money to you after both of those things, that's going to end up killing me.
Well, you're just going to have to live with all of that, or rather die with it. There are no longer any adults around who are going to help you through your troubles. Your father already told me that he'll be cutting ties to you now.
Even my dad is leaving me now?
You should have thought everything you were doing earlier through just a bit more. If you find that it's easy for you to go around making fun of others and ruining their lives, it's just as easy for everyone around you to throw you away. That's goodbye forever from me now. This old hag stranger will be going now. And just like that, the wedding which MJ had been looking forward to for so long was canceled. At first, all of the guests were pretty confused as to why the wedding was being canceled before it had even started, but after my husband went and explained everything to them, they all understood, and there was not a single person there who agreed or sympathized with what MJ did. She did try her hardest, though, to get someone to help her out by paying for the wedding, but by that point everyone had already lost faith in her anyways, and it was all over. Soon after that day, the rumors of when and how MJ was divorced started to spread throughout the town and the internet, and all of those around her began calling her a huge idiot while laughing at her. As of right now, MJ is currently paying me back for her wedding with a couple $100 a month, as she works a rather unfortunate part-time job somewhere out in a rundown part of the city. Having to take her to court and get a settlement for all of this would take too much time and would require me to pay for a lawyer, so just having her pay me over time was a far better choice. And of course, since she doesn't have the ability to make enough to pay me everything all at once, she's going to be working hard for a long time, making every cent for me. I still have a lot more money saved from both of my parents, so not having that $40,000 back for a while won't really do me any harm. But I really do hope that this will hurt MJ enough to teach her a very, very important lesson. And for that purpose, I'll make sure she pays me $500 a month for the next 20 months. I'm sure that 20 months will seem like an eternity for MJ, especially when she's not making much at all, but that's the point of me asking for such an amount, and I hope it gives her hell. As for my husband and I, we're living life acting as though neither of us ever even had a daughter. And of course, we don't regret saying goodbye to MJ forever one bit. After all, this is the outcome that she wanted for herself, and I fully support it.
Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.